Welcome back to Health Daily. I'm your host, Dr. J. I have Coach O with me today. Today, we are going to talk about the 5 steps to transform your body in 1 month. Hopefully, I can transform my body in 1 month. Think about how good you will feel next month if you do these steps. Let's talk about the 5 steps to see how we transform our body. But first, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with somebody that you know that can use it. Click that bell notification so you don't miss a video. Let's roll it. How you doing today, Coach O?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So
Good, man.
I'm here to learn along with everybody else.
Yeah.
I have a beach trip next month. I'm trying to transform my
Where
body.
you going, bro?
Shoot, I don't know yet, but I have
Oh,
a
you
beach
know
trip.
you're going. Okay, sounds like a Samantha plan.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
like we're going
exactly.
to the beach.
Going
somewhere.
to the beach. I'm
Okay.
trying to transform my body. Last time we talked about these side fats. Today I want to know how do I transform my total body and so I can look good in my beach suit, bathing suit, whatever it is.
Okay, I like this topic because of the time period. I like the 1 month period because this kind of thing, it requires discipline, but golly, 1 month, like I feel like almost anybody can stick to a discipline plan for 1 month. So number one, I'll say, is basically, I don't know what to call this first one, but I'll say, I generally will say like increasing your awareness or data collection. So basically it's figuring out like where you are right now in your health and fitness journey. And
So research.
Not only research, just
Okay.
like where are you at, like
Okay.
like self-awareness about where you at. So it's data collection of your height, weight, you know what I'm saying, like your age, your BMR, if you are in a place where you can do blood work, like, and so all of these things just to kind of like check your testosterone levels, any other health markers that you find valuable that you want to optimize. And the reason I say that, like everything that you collect in this phase is going to be like a motivator for you to kind of continue to move forward, especially like once we get out past the 1 month. But so first, and it helps when we get to other things like tracking, like nutrition and setting the goals. So those are coming up, right? So number one, data collection, which to that point, nutrition is a part of that as well. And so take 2 days of just tracking everything that you eat, just to kind of figure out like how many calories you're taking in on a regular basis, what kind of foods, and kind of that first couple of days is just kind of an education. Like you don't have to change anything, just pay attention to what you eat, track everything.
Okay.
Right. And so once you have your BMR, like you have basically
BMR. So
your basal metabolic rate.
okay, basal metabolic rate.
Yep, yeah,
Okay.
so
That's a part of the tracking that I need to do
Yeah.
during the first.
Yeah,
Okay.
because then once you have that, basically you can figure out like it tells you how many calories your body burns by just like your everyday life, right? And so once you have that number, then you can start to set goals, which is step number 2, setting goals.
Okay.
So your weight, your body composition, whether you want to lose body fat, if we're going to the beach, we want to lose body fat, right? Because we want
Absolutely. I want the
six-pack.
athletic look.
Yeah, you want it to
absolutely.
pop, right? And so figuring out basically what the foods are that you're going to need to eat, like your caloric deficit, what you need to stay at in order to start to shed the weight over this next month. All of that stuff matters. So these first 2 steps, basically in increasing the awareness and setting the goals of where you want to go, help to create a clearer sense of where you are, helps a clearer vision. So the more clear the vision is, the more motivation you'll be able to generate along the journey. The more motivation you have, the better odds you have of staying disciplined to the process, right? And so once we have let's say your daily caloric burn, your BMR, like we find that you burn maybe 2,100 calories on a daily basis.
Okay.
So we'll probably prescribe you 2,000 calories a day. So not a big caloric deficit, but 2,000 calories. But the deficit will increase with your activity level, with your training. Does
Gotcha.
that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That
And
makes sense. So you're taking away one of my 100-calorie snacks.
One of your 100-calorie snacks.
But I'm working
Take it away.
out, so I may
You're working out,
necessarily
so
require.
you may burn another, I don't know, 400 or 500 calories
Makes
with
sense.
your training, and so you'll be at a 500-600 calorie deficit for the day. So you'll possibly lose a pound a week. But for you, I think more importantly is body composition. And so we would focus more on protein, whole foods, right? Protein, vegetables, fruit, plenty of water, right? If we can cut out the added sugars, ultra processed carbs, like bread, pasta, cut that stuff out like 30 days.
So a big one, I hear this all the time, is like, I love cereal. Should I eat cereal? And I hear this all the time in my clinic. What do you say to that?
What do I say to it?
What do you say to that? If I have these goals, I'm trying to lose in 1 month. What do I say to
cereal?
cereal?
What are we talking about? Like, well, I would say this though. I mean, I would say, well, what do you want more? Like, do you love cereal
Do you
more,
want the cereal
or
more?
do you really want to hit this goal once and for all and maintain it? You know what I mean? And
Because that would be considered an added sugar, basically.
yeah.
Okay,
And so
fair enough.
and not only that, it's like, look, cereal is always going to be there. So let's just keep it in perspective. Right now, like, you want to hit this goal, you got 1 month to do it. Let's put the cereal down. You can do without it. You know what I mean? And so it's like, when it comes to nutrition, particularly here, like the ability to decide what you want to eat is first world problems, right? That's why it's like when you feel like, oh, I want to have cereal, but I can't right now. Like, okay, but you're not going to die of starvation, right?
Sure.
You know that you're going to eat today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's a blessing that just massively underrated, right? So, so it's a matter of kind of changing your mindset, your perspective on food and nutrition. So we're learning to eat for sustenance, eat for your goals that you're working towards. And for somebody that has a lot more to lose, then you have to be disciplined for a while.
Makes sense.
A part of this process that a lot of people don't talk about is the suffering part, the feeling of suffering. And I think like that's something that you need to understand, because you've gotten where you are because of a lack of discipline, right? And so it's like,
Man, that's a great topic. I think we should even put that topic down as maybe a whole episode.
Yeah.
Because I think you put it the right way, the feeling of suffering.
Right.
Right, instead
Which is
of
not,
actually
yeah,
suffering.
it's not true suffering, but
Right.
it feels hard, right?
Right,
Because it's like you're changing like what you're used to, what your body is used to. You're depriving, yourself of certain foods because, but and it feels hard. It feels like suffering.
True.
If you haven't been training and you start training, it's gonna feel like suffering.
Feels
right?
like suffering.
It's gonna be hard, and so that's the part of the journey that you kind of have to embrace, especially in the beginning. It's like we gotta get past that, because what happens for a lot of people, there is a moment where it clicks, where it's not, you don't look at it as suffering, as like you look at more as a challenge that you want to tackle, and that's going to help you to get to where you want to go. And so, and in some cases, like you get to the point where you do enjoy, like you enjoy challenges, you enjoy like the hard work that it takes, because you understand the benefits of it, right? You feel the cognitive benefits of a good cardio day or a good strength training day. You feel a lot better after these workouts, so you know the benefits that are coming, and so it's less suffering and more overcoming those challenges.
Makes sense. So I got you off topic with
Yeah,
the cereal
a little
talk.
bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit, but it was the same. So right now we have, first we're doing data collection
Yeah.
and research about where we currently stand,
Yeah.
and then we're setting goals, based on where we currently are,
Based on where you
especially
are.
the BMR, the basal metabolic rate. All right, and so we're going to step 3. What do I need to do next?
Step 3 is the implementing of your plan, and here it's understanding like what days and times that you have available to work out, to train. And so strength training and cardiovascular training, I would recommend both, and so this will be different for everybody. People have different levels of availability to train because of family life, because of work, but it's important to be real with it. Like, don't just like, oh, I don't have time, because let's figure out where your time is. Like for me, it's early in the morning before the kids wake up, before I start training other people. Figure out that time. If it's 20 minutes a day, during the week, and then you have about an hour and a half on the weekends, then that's where you need to plan to maximize that time. You know what I mean? And if you have more time, then great. And so
So
figuring
that
out,
probably comes into the data collection too, I guess. Then
yeah,
it's just knowing
it comes into the goal setting, I would
right
say, too. Yeah.
because you're right. Everyone probably has some amount of time. It's just figuring out where am I wasting my time for one. You know, because there's probably some time in the day that maybe I'm could be more efficient.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's nighttime where I'm just zoning out for like hours,
Yeah.
and maybe I should just be asleep.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
And so I would recommend probably 3 to 4 days of strength training, at least 3 days of strength training, where we're putting stress on the muscle, right? And then 2 days of cardio.
Okay.
Basically. And
Well,
so,
what's the purpose of that split?
so for me, I think so. The purpose of the strength training plus the cardio. So with strength training, it's you have different goals, right? And the goal basically is to build muscle. When you're strength training, typically you're not going to burn a lot of calories, right? And so I like to implement those 2 cardio days during the week where you can allow yourself to use that muscle that you're working on, and not have to really overthink about what exercises you're going to do and things like that. And you just get on either a cycling machine, or if you're able to run comfortably, get on outside run, get on a treadmill and run. But it help you to burn more calories on those days. There's like 2 days out of the week where you really want to get in there and just kind of burn calories, or you do some mixed cardio if you have access to a rower or you swim, whatever. But something that's gonna push you in that area. And I think it's helpful to have those days where you burn a lot of calories and challenge yourself in that way. So it's just a different kind of challenge, both working toward the same goal, right? Which is achieving, for you example, musculature at the beach.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so I look at like strength training, you know, we're trying to build the physique, the muscle that we want, and the cardio kind of unveils the muscle that you built. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Unwrap that present.
Yeah, unwrap. Let's see what
Right.
what we've spent this time building. It's like
Makes sense.
don't get caught lifting all the time, because I mean you'll see it. Like a lot of people, like you can build enough muscle and basically bulk up, and then still have this layer of, you know, fat.
The layer of fat just on top of
and
it. So
you just
look
can't really-
bulky, but you're really that tone, that ripped look that everybody talks
Yeah,
about.
let's
You don't really
burn.
have that as much.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
burn some more
So
calories.
we have I have the data collection research. We have next is the what was the second one? So we had data collection, and then after that the
goal setting.
goal setting, right? And
So
then
we got the training.
the training
is number
So
3.
implementing basically is
Yeah,
number
the
3.
implementing of the training.
training.
And so we're going and doing that.
Okay, and then what do I need to do next?
Next is nutrition, right?
Okay.
So nutrition is the part where, I mean, it's basically implementation of the nutrition piece.
Okay.
So we already have the goals set for that, and so just making sure that we're going out and we're doing it. And that includes hydration as well. So figuring out like how much water you need on a daily basis, that's going to help you to continue to perform better, like during your training sessions. I think that's a telltale sign of whether you're getting enough water or not. Like, how are you feeling during your workouts? Are you dragging? You might be dehydrated. You know what I mean? You might not be getting the nutrition that you need. Like if you're working out early in the morning, like make sure that you're having a nice dinner the night before, like a good sized dinner the night before, so that you have some fuel in the tank. But hydration is a big one, I think, because even if I don't eat a whole lot, if I'm hydrated, like I feel really good when I go and I perform, when I go and do a long cardio session, things like that. And so nutrition, hydration, number 4 for sure.
Okay.
And then number 5, I would say, is the recovery
Okay.
part.
Recovery. So
Rest and recovery.
is that
So,
important?
It's also probably underrated, man. I tell people once you get your sleep in order, like people laugh at me. I mean, because I understand I'm a man of a certain age, right? But it's like, yo, man, I don't have any reason to be up past 9 o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Like once we get the kids to sleep, I'm trying to go to bed. I wake up early, right? But getting that sleep is the other thing that I can tell when I go to perform. Like if I didn't get enough sleep, I can feel it. Like you feel it the next day. So making sure that you're getting a proper amount of sleep, and then on making sure that you have 1 to 2 days of rest and recovery during the week to make sure that those muscles rejuvenate and that you are able to continue to perform at the levels that you need to. And so and rest and recovery doesn't mean don't do anything, right? But if you can be active in your recovery, go to the sauna. Make sure that you're hydrating on those days that you're not training. Go out for a walk. Go out in nature and just walk outside and practice diaphragmatic breathing. Stretch on those days. Do some light.
So active recovery.
Do something light. Get a massage. Some people like to get massages. Do cold plunge. I mean, there's a ton of things these days that we have access to that are really beneficial. I mean, if you train really hard, sometimes you may need to go and get an IV on your off day. You know what I mean?
And these days, the way you're describing, these days seem like the actual days that muscles being built on these days, not necessarily in the gym.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, like on those days where your body is you're allowing your body to rest, and you're helping it to recover. Yeah, absolutely, man. You're getting stronger on those days, because on those training days, it's like you're almost beating yourself down. You know what I mean? And so, but those, like when you sleep, that's when your body goes into muscle repair and different things like that, man. And so that's the most important part of the journey. A lot of people make sure that they go and they work out, but if your habits don't line up as far as like nutrition, hydration, rest, and recovery, if they don't line up with the training that you're doing, and you're staying up late and your nutrition is bad and you're not drinking enough water, it's like then like the training isn't really that beneficial to you, because it's like you're just running yourself down into the ground. You know what I mean? If we could put it on a graph, a line graph, like you're just constantly going down. Like you need to make sure that we're going up on those recovery days. You know what I mean? So we're train, body's getting worn down, rest and recover. Right back up. Train, and every time that peak should be getting higher and higher and higher, and that's how we improve performance, improve your health, and
makes sense.
Hit those goals.
So with these 5 steps, I have 30 days. Say I have 30 days to do this. How long does it take me to do these 5 steps? Is it 2 days or 3 days? What do you recommend there? Like how many days should I take to really hone in on this plan?
To hone in on the plan? I mean, you can hone in the plan in one day, right? You can get started in one day. Like sit down and now the nutrition piece, like you're gonna track for a couple of days, and so that'll take a little bit of time, but that's not gonna stop you from starting, if that makes sense. And so, just sit down. It is well worth it to sit down and do the data collection, do the goal setting, because those are the things that are gonna keep you going throughout the month. It's worth dedicating one day to that, to focusing and then developing your strength training plan. And figuring out those habits that are going to support this journey. It's worth a day of that 30 days, 31 days to implement. So it doesn't take long. It doesn't even take the full day, right? If you sit down and you get it done and you're serious about getting it done, and you can still go and you can train that day. But like progress starts that day, because you change how you're eating, what you're eating, you're watching it. And so it's like you don't have to wait. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait until you're done tracking after those 2 days, and then you can start right now. And so
start immediately, basically.
You can start immediately
and continue the plan throughout.
Yeah.
So if you've made it this far through the video, you're obviously wanting to start right now. Make sure you get on our website, fit15.io, just subscribe, and you can get on and take a look at some meal templates right now, workout templates right now. And then also we do have a free ebook for those of you that are trying to figure out how to gain confidence. It's called From Couch to Confidence. You can read that right now. As soon as you sign up, you have access to it, and you can figure out how to get this done in 1 month feel better next month for your trip. Maybe you're not going to the beach, maybe you have a wedding, maybe you just want to look better. And if you do have questions and want to contact Coach O, we'll drop the link below. You'll be able to directly contact him if you are definitely in the area and would like to immediately start to work out. We'll drop that link below. But thank you, Coach O, for coming, telling us about what we need to do in these 5 steps in 1 month. Thank you for showing up and talking to us about this.
My pleasure, man. Let's get it. Let's go.